Back to the 52nd.
The
52nd?
52nd.
It is?
It is.
Cool. Episode of the Sketchbook Heroes with me, Ilias.
And me, Robert, who knows what number it is.
So, yeah, on today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to get started with digital painting and share, I think, our own experiences because they're quite different.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it almost immediately.
It took me a while.
And Robert hated it for a long while. Actually, you were so like, oh, this is not feeling good.
And I'm still debating. Like, I'm not there yet. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, cool.
In a little bit a while. And intro go.
Intro go.
Let's go.
I don't have a song. Let's just move on. No, fuck. God damn it. I mix it up with another song. It's like the Superman theme and the Star Wars theme as well. Like I mix them up.
Intro, save Ilias.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
And we're back.
Howdy, folks.
Howdy, folks.
Howdy, Pilias.
How you doing?
That's you first.
Damn it.
Yeah, how you doing, dude?
It's good. There's not much to say. I've been off for 3 weeks, as some of you might know. I haven't drawn shit in a while. I've watched George of the Jungle.
Awesome.
With Brendan Fraser. Which is
George of the Jungle, long as he can be something. Yeah, watch out for that tree.
Watch out for that tree. And it's not a good movie, but you have to give it to Brendan Fraser there that he actually does a pretty good sort of like he manages that part pretty good, and you can only sort of appreciate it if you watch George of the Jungle 2. Like I thought it was okay. You know, like you watch it and you're like, the kids were having a blast because it's that kind of movie. And it was also, I think, dubbed in Swedish, so it was extra good. Thank you, Netflix or Viaplay or who the fuck had it. And it was like Swedish by default, you know, we didn't even have to. So I was just like, oh, okay, this is going to be great.
Happy days.
But still, you got to give it to Brendan Fraser. Because if you watch George of the Jungle the following day or a couple of hours later, holy dicks, George of the Jungle 1 is so good. Like, it's such a great movie. Everything about that movie is great. Because the second one is just like, okay, we have to replace Brendan because he doesn't want to do this anymore. And you get this other guy, and he has no sort of like acting whatsoever.
Do you know who it is?
Nope, never seen him before. But he does have a very, very good body. And it feels like they were like, okay, we need someone with like sort of like
muscles. Like
more muscles than before.
Oh, shit.
And Brendan Fraser was like fucking ripped in that one. So this guy's even like more ripped than Brendan Fraser. If that's possible.
Ripter.
This guy was, yeah, exactly. He was so ripped, he was a ripter. Velociraptor.
Velociraptor. Nice.
And, yeah, but it's shit. Like, that guy couldn't act to save his life.
Nice.
But he's apparently very good at working out, so I guess it worked out in the end. Boom.
Oh, man, I can't even imagine having to watch one of those movies.
Oh, yeah, and the lady that's also a new actor in this one.
Yeah.
I think the only person that's still in this movie is like her fiance from the first one, like the lady that finds George, like her fiance. She's about to get married with this other guy, this rich douchebag. He's still in this movie as well. Of course. And the monkey's still sort of played by John Cleese or something like that, like voice wise. So he didn't have to suffer through being there. But yeah.
I sort of feel my life draining away
By just talking
just
about this,
hearing
right?
about
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, it's so bad. But yeah, the wife, the George's wife now in the second movie, they've gotten married and have a kid. The kid is Jake from 2.5 Men, and he's super young. And also the wife is the from the movie. What the fuck is it called? It's the Dexter. The sort of like the wife, the woman he's dating.
Yeah, yeah.
That super like
The blonde.
yeah, the blonde with the kid and the insecurity and the
Yeah.
because of the past relationship. That's her, but she does like the worst acting of her life in this one.
Nice. Well, you have to start somewhere. Might as well go George.
Hey, well, she got other parts after that.
True.
I don't know what happened to this other George. But that's me. Very interesting. Also, my PlayStation, it was supposed to be picked up today by the special sort of deal that they have with our postal office. They did not come by. So I still have a broken PS4. Fuck this. Over to you, Robert.
I don't have much to say either. It's been...
But is your PS4 broken?
my PS4 is not broken. It's
Should
very
switch.
active, and I've actually managed to play a little bit on it too. And what have I done? I've been drawing a bit again. Mainly, well, just my comfort zone stuff.
Yeah, but you've been whipping them out like a sort of like, I don't know, nudist.
Not
like
really. I mean, I've done
2 in a day, Robert. 2 in like...
No,
like
2 in-
no, but I meant like
Yeah.
1 every day.
almost. Yeah, 2. I did 2. But it was just me being a media whore or a social media whore, trying to get some more followers, and it worked. It worked. It still works. Yes. So for those of you who want to know how we do it, listen to the other episodes. No, but it worked. I drew some semi-famous Swedish vlogger named what's her name, Clara Hayes or Haynes.
No idea who that is.
Like I really didn't know, and I was very upfront about it in my thing as well. Like when I posted it, my post. Sorry, burping, not burping. But no, I had the urge to draw a portrait, and I wanted to do something, but I had no idea who to draw, and I didn't feel like going in and just trying to find someone. And so I just asked Anna, like, do you have any bloggers or something that you follow that you like? And she just said immediately this Glas Clara, which is her name on Instagram.
Shit.
And she's a vlogger, so she does, YouTube clips, just talking about girly stuff, and she's released just published a book and stuff like that.
I love that they do so much stuff, and
Yeah.
you've never heard of these people.
So
Yeah.
productive, and like she's super cute and funny. I mean, it's all sort of more girly related stuff, so you don't. Well, I watched a bit of it, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of cute. And then after maybe 5 minutes, I was like, just shoot me in the head.
Is it that girly? Like girly? Like
Yeah, some of the stuff is, yeah. I think her book is called Yes, I Have My Period or something. Like,
okay.
so
Cool.
So it's very, very girly.
I think it's sort of like it fits its demographic perfectly.
Definitely, yes. But I mean, she had a good face, and she's one of those fun people that makes funny faces and not trying to be pretty all the time.
Yeah.
She can make fun of herself, and she does in her videos as well. That's why it's really funny and really cute. And she just showed me her Instagram real quick, and I immediately saw that picture, and I was like, perfect, that one.
Dude.
And then it took me like 10 minutes to find that picture again, but found it, drew it, posted it, and she reposted it. So that was awesome.
And you broke the 5,000 mark?
I did, finally. Well, again, because I was over over 6,000 back in the day.
Before they cleaned out the followers, yeah. I lost about 600 back then. I didn't lose that many.
I lost like 3,000.
But I've lost a lot, like, since
Yeah, but I know that primarily like the people
Yeah.
following me are just bots or publishing, or what do you call it, advertisement stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, anyway, I got maybe 300 new followers or something, which is great.
That's
and yes,
awesome.
finally broke the 5,000 mark.
Boom.
It feels good. That was sort of my goal. I like secretly wanted to break that one, even though I was stuck in between, like, am I doing this just for me or am I doing it for the followers, which is also just for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted new followers, God damn it, so shoot me.
Yeah, no, but I think it's fine. The thing is, when it comes to like an obsession, you're not drawing things you want to draw. Because I follow tons of makeup accounts, not tons, but I follow a handful of makeup accounts, like model accounts, people that I find interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I follow this, like I think the ones that I follow most are like portrait photograph, like people that take photographs, portraits that I find interesting. Like the lighting is awesome, the photos are like creative, and also like makeup accounts that I think do like fun stuff, and
Yeah.
also that playful stuff that you talked about, that they do faces, not just like blankly staring into the camera, looking sort of like I get paid.
Exactly.
Like it's like Vogue covers. It's not that type of photography that I'm into.
No. But I did, speaking of those, I drew one of those. That was the second one.
Yeah,
So if you have followed my stuff.
but that was actually really good as well.
Oh, thank you, buddy. It was, that one was tough, actually, because we're sort of so used to the whole Copic or marker
Oh yeah, you went
sketches
pencil
now.
on this one.
Yeah, so this one I went old school, sort of. And I wanted to test myself, like, how well can I draw a semi-realistic portrait now with just a pen, Just give me some lead.
See,
And yeah, it took
takes forever,
almost
right? Like
the whole day to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many hours, maybe 4 or 5 or something.
Copics is fucking like
Yeah.
so thankful to work with. Like once you get past that sort of like, I don't want to waste my pens, or like I don't want to ruin the sketchbook.
Hell, yeah.
But Copics are fucking the universal sort of tool. Like they're awesome.
I fucking love it.
Agreed.
But yeah, no, so I did that one, the second one, and it's of, what's her name? Annabelle Wallace, I think. Or Wallace? I think Wallace.
I have no idea who that is either.
No, but it's she's in the new Mummy movie.
Mommy.
Mommy with Tom Cruise, and she's also in the show Peaky Blinders. Like, she's not super mega famous, and that's why I sort of wanted to just try it out to see if maybe she would be able to see it, and maybe she would repost it, and it'd be interesting to see what would happen if she did.
Cool.
So that one was like almost more of a media whore picture than the first one. Sorry, need to fix mic stand. Hello.
Oh, you have my stand, that crappy one. Yeah, that fucking
Yes,
annoying
there we
stand.
go. But yeah, so at least I'm creating again, which feels really good, even though it's, it's the same stuff that I always do. But I don't know, like, it feels really good, and also I'm trying more to be a little bit more detailed oriented, to go in, like, just take my time a little bit more than I normally do. And yeah, we'll just see what happens, pretty much. But it feels good to be back.
Sure.
We'll see. Like, now I'm talking about it, so now I'm probably not going to post anything forever again. But I mean, we'll see how long I can carry this momentum and keep posting shit. So hopefully, I'll be back on track, and you'll see more stuff.
Sweet.
And also now I'm really focusing on showing you guys the process pics.
Sweet.
And also explaining sort of the process a little bit more, and saying, like, I'm using this pen, I got this pen from this place, and I did this and this, and blah, blah, blah.
Sounds super, super, super good, actually.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope I'm getting really good feedback from a lot of you guys. So thank you. Thank you for commenting. It means a lot. And yeah, but other than that, like, nothing really new. I got really let down today because I thought the new It movie with Bill
Affleck.
Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
I thought that was coming out now on Blu-ray and DVD, and I've wanted to see it since it came out in the cinema, but I never got the chance to. So before we met up today, I went to the old town to get it, but it turns out it's like releasing on Blu-ray DVD in the States now.
Oh, but actually, Sci-Fi Bookshop used to have movies that were like on this, like before release in Sweden.
Yeah.
They used to have like an import.
Yeah,
of
I know.
those movies. God damn.
I did. I went up and asked them, but it's coming out in maybe a month or so. So that was a letdown because I was like, "Yay, I get to buy a new movie!" Not. So I bought 2 new comics instead.
That's awesome.
I bought Batman: The Long Halloween, which is a really famous, good story that I still haven't read, and now I will. And also the third part of The Dark Knight Returns. What's it called? The Master Race.
Yeah, the one you recommended me to
Yes.
check. Yep.
Yes. So, Frank Miller's latest Batman. So, looking forward to reading those. And that's all the news I have for this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
And today, before we move on,
Today?
I realized what the fuck. I don't know why I said it like that, but I realized I've started on my New Year's promises.
Yes. You told me, you
yeah,
gave me a
exactly.
little sneak preview.
I've started my
Fucking
own
awesome.
IP. Like I have some ideas there with a new magic system that I don't know that anyone else has done up to this now, and I think it's
don't-
pretty cool.
It's really cool, but don't say anything.
But I'm not going to say
Hell
anything
no.
because you
You're
thieves
gonna
out
fucking-
there.
yeah.
No. I'm just going to work on it and do more concepts before
Mm-hmm.
I sort of out it. And then I want the people that made Korra, The Legend of Korra, to animate it.
No, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That would fit.
Yeah, that's
That would fit,
pretty
right?
perfect.
I think it would be actually
Either that
real.
or the guys that made Kubo. Because I'd like to see this in stop
yes,
motion.
Yes,
that would be
yes,
really
that
cool.
would be so cool.
With that sort of dark,
And they already
Tone.
proved in Kubo that they could sort of like
they
pull
can
this
do
off.
anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, I loved your idea.
And you also had an idea there, so
yeah,
let's all keep it.
It's in the what do you call it? The pressure cooker.
Yeah, exactly. So we're doing stuff.
We are doing stuff.
So that is
this
cool.
year is working out good. Also, a different subject, but just about things turning out good is the first tattoo I did of this year or finished was the Buddha Geotrash one. And I mean, I couldn't get a good picture of it, unfortunately, because, and it's going to sound so wrong, but this woman's body is really not very proportionate. Like she's a bit bigger and it doesn't photograph well. But if you see it in person, it looks amazing. Like, so, just not trying to trash talk her or anything. But my colleague Johan was looking over it when it was finished, and I was wiping it off, cleaning it, and he was just like just staring. And I was worried because he had a worried look in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was like, Robert, this is the best thing that you've ever done. Like
the later one,
this
the
one.
second one. Yeah, that was really good.
He's like, this is light years beyond what you've done before. Like, so, and then just a couple of days after that, my boss told me, he's like, Rob, I really need to talk to you. It's about your tattooing. Like, so if you get time, we need to sit down and have a talk. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
And he was like, no. It's all good. Like, it's
Okay.
really, really all good. So it feels like I'm stepping up my game. So
Cool.
2018 is, we're off to a
Starting.
good start.
Sweet.
So that feels really good.
That is indeed awesome.
Yeah.
Something that is less awesome but still good is that I also started writing my contract, like really
yeah.
trying to specify that shit out.
No, but that's all good.
So that's also good, but it's not that good yet. And also, diet has been going well. Like no eating candy, no sort of like. I told you about a great dump, and also
Yeah, and I told you about my great many dumps.
yeah.
So-
So Yeah, things are going great. Great start. I'm also starting to draw again, but I have nothing to show you guys. But I will keep you updated soonish.
Yeah. Great year. Great year. Good dumps.
Good dumps.
Good creativity. We're off to a great start.
Great start.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Also, rate, subscribe. YouTube, Facebook,
All of that jazz.
Instagram, iTunes, Podcaster, all that jazz. Yeah.
And share it. Share it.
Share it.
For the love of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So share it. Thank you for listening. We always appreciate it. You guys have been a bit quiet during Christmas. So we hope to hear more from you.
Yeah.
And with the topics that we discuss, we would love to hear what you guys think about it. So when we post the episode, it'd be fun if you sort of gave us your 2 cents on the subject being discussed and sort of what would you like to hear more that we maybe missed, because once we start talking, it's just
yeah, we're
yeah,
it's downhill.
it's downhill. Yeah, exactly. There's no stopping that train or whatever the fuck it is. So yeah, with that said, moving on.
Moving on. Nice, epic.
And we're back to discuss how to become or how to get started with digital art, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ish.
It's
The challenge of drawing digitally.
pretty much.
If you don't, or if you're not into it yet.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of intimidating. People are talking about the feeling all the time and all that jazz. I don't particularly think I don't think that's important. You can still draw. There's nothing that says you can't draw traditionally.
No, of course not.
But I think that if you do digital work as well, you just open yourself to a bigger client base.
Yes, and it's going to save you so much hassle with so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely. I mean, if you are in any way trying to earn money off of this,
Make a living, yeah.
or not even that. Even if you just want to evolve your style or your art a little bit more, I definitely recommend you go digital in some sort of way. And I guess we're going to cover pretty much everything now.
Everything that we can come up with on the fly.
Yeah. And we have talked about this a couple of times, but I think it's it's a good subject. It's good
I think
to keep reminding people that option is a thing.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, because I never post my digital stuff anymore, because I don't really do much digital.
Mm-hmm.
I do sketch a lot of my Flash tattoo stuff, just because it's so easy. If you know how the system works or how your program works, you can just you save so much time working with a computer. So it's always a good tool.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where to start. Where do we begin?
But I think the biggest fear is, I think that a lot of people that I've talked to, or the general sort of gist of it, is that what we mentioned just a couple of minutes ago is the feeling. It doesn't feel like traditional.
And I get that.
I get it too, but the thing is, watercolors don't feel like pencil.
Hell no.
Nothing feels like the other thing. So
No.
stop comparing. It's you don't compare pencils and oils.
No.
It's a completely different beast, it's not the same.
No.
And digital is just another surface.
It is.
With another pen, just an extension of your imagination, pretty much.
It's just a new canvas.
It's a new tool,
Yeah.
to do whatever the fuck you want, a new medium for you to
And it's
explore.
And now the tools are so extremely well made,
They're
so
refined,
the difference
yeah,
is it's just subtle.
Yeah.
It's if you get the new iPad with the pen that has the whole tilt and everything, it's just drawing with a pencil. It's just, it's like drawing with a pencil on glass.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is. And there's if we're talking iPads, since you brought it up, there is sort of you can buy a thin film that you can put on top of your screen.
Oh, okay.
That sort of resembles paper, so you sort of eliminate that glass feeling that you have.
That's awesome.
So there are ways to get around that sort of tap, tap, tap.
Nice.
Like Mars Attacks glass. Tap, tap, tap. So you can avoid that glass thing.
Or you just get a Samsung.
No, you don't, because there are no fucking apps.
No, that's true.
So all the good things that come with the sort of like the functionality of a Samsung is that it does not have any fucking like applications worthwhile, I think.
And
Like,
that sucks.
it does suck. Like, I'm not against it. I'm just sad that nobody gives a fuck about Samsung for Samsung being a big fucking developer of things. But yeah, so I think the first step is just don't compare like the feeling. Because the feeling is like, if you take shit and spread it on a piece of paper, that's going to be very different from oil, and or like more similar to oil maybe, but like depending on what you ate. But wow, that got.
What if you ate oils? Shit. What if you ate your oils and then
shit them
out?
Dude, I don't know. Either lead poisoning but I don't think they have lead in those anymore.
No,
maybe
I don't
some,
think so.
But
Maybe
I think some colors are poisonous where others are not. Or like maybe, I don't know. Because I think that's like because all the different pigments are created differently. Mm-hmm. And to get some of the pigments they use, I don't know.
This
I don't know how
could
to
be worth experimenting with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just eat shit, and if you're still alive afterwards, just give us like the colors you've been able to sort of like. So one color, you write it down so we can like and post it to us, and then take the next color in. No,
man, this is a big project.
This is a very big project.
Because you need to empty your entire body.
Go Heroes!
And then eat the colors.
Yeah.
And then it'd be interesting to see if they all got sort of mixed up.
Airbrushing. Okay, let's just leave that. First of all, don't do a comparison. No. It's a different medium, but digital and pencils and all that. But I would say don't get stuck on how you think or want it to feel. It is what it is, okay? Yeah. Just get past that like silly shit. Because I think that's what it usually is. It's like an expectation of something you can't affect. Like you can affect it to some degree. Like there's even like a film for like the Wacoms that you can sort of put over them. But the Wacoms already have that themselves. Yeah. They've always worked towards, like at least the Cintiqs I think have it. They have this like weird plastic thing.
But even the tablets, like the
ones I have
Intuos ones,
dude. Like all the ones I have are very sort of like plastic.
Yeah, but I think they still have that. I think it's the texture.
Nibs. For me, it's the nibs.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. Because I never really thought about it.
I don't really care.
It's just, it is what it is.
It's digital art for me. I don't give a shit how it feels. Like, I don't. But for those people that do care, there are solutions. Yeah. Some people just take like a piece of paper and put that on. Like on the Intuos models, the ones without the screen, they're just like a drawing board.
That works.
So that works for some.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's scratchy. Yeah. It's just like
it feels unnecessary.
Yeah. But yeah, so number one, feeling, fuck it.
Feeling, fuck it.
Fuck that feeling. Yeah. A second one I think is, for some people, it's just like, instant love. That's great. That's great for you. Most of us, it's sort of like, I think it took me just a personal sort of experience that I shared somewhere along the way of this podcast, was that it took me, like I bought one, like a really small, super old Wacom Graphire, I think. Graphire 4 back in 2000 and some year. 2004 maybe, 3, I don't know. And I bought it and I didn't use it for a year. Like I did some doodling and I was like, fuck this. And then the way I sort of got started was that I watched a tutorial and I just followed it like a slave. Like, like I had the video playing on the side. I had this old version of Photoshop on the side, and then I just let the video play, paused it, did the same thing. So like I didn't know shit about Photoshop. So that was just sort of like
your introduction.
My introduction. So that worked for me to sort of get past it, and then I had some tools. Yeah. I didn't even know how to like, oh shit, when I did a mistake, I either used Control Z, or I used to sort of like erase it entirely and then just redraw it. Now I'm just like, this eye is too far down. I just move it up, with like that marquee tool. And
Lasso.
Lasso and marquee. I think they're under the same. And that's how you do it. Like there are simple ways, but you need to sort of get there. Yeah. So I think when you're starting off with digital art, don't try to create new stuff. No. Okay? don't try that. Draw something already like an old character of yours, something you're comfortable, like comfort zone shit.
Yeah.
And just try to complete it and try to find all these shortcuts. Because right now, when you Google, like, how do I do this in Photoshop? It's like, how do I cut this out and move it? It's not hard to find out how.
No. Everything is out there.
Yeah, and if you can find a tutorial, I think it's just that does all the steps. Especially video, I think, is easier.
It's really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is out there now. But it's funny because Anna just recently started painting digitally, and she hadn't before really. Like she'd worked a little bit with sort of with the bamboo that she has for, I think she did some stuff for her old school, but she mainly worked with vector stuff. And now she did a couple of things for her school, and it took her just a couple of hours, and then she was into it. And she loved it. And she was working with my companion.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is just like working on paper, pretty much.
No, I think there's a companion screen.
And she, I mean, I wasn't at home when she was doing this, so she had to figure stuff out for herself. And it was really interesting to see sort of how she went about creating the textures and just the way she tried different things and still created this. Like, she's got some stuff on her page. It's Anna's _creative. And she's posted some of them, and it's really interesting. You know, like she has a very distinct style. It's very cute, sort of
graphic,
very cutesy animal stuff. But the stuff that she did for school was a bit more intense and darker, and really cool. Like, and just the way that she sort of problem solved all of the things that she wanted to do on her own. I think it's really impressive, and it's sort of, again, it's a testament to the way the technology is now. That like it's so intuitive in a way. Like if you just know that, oh, that's where you have the brush and that's where you have the eraser, it's easy to navigate, and you can from there you can just start creating, and it's awesome. And that's, you know, going from zero to a finished piece in just a couple of hours, and it was so I mean, if she can do it, anybody can do it. No, I'm just kidding.
But I think if you don't have Photoshop at all, or any vector-based software in your sort of like, because just those two things are very different.
Oh yeah.
But if you have someone that can help you out while you do this shit, and you're like, oh, dude, how do you do this? Oh, you just do this.
Yeah.
They're usually just very quick fixes. And they can probably show you like a couple of different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But I think just when you start off, I'm going to use Photoshop as an example all the time. So if you're confused, unless I say iPad, if we talk about iPads, I'm just going to Procreate.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking PC or like anything else, it's Photoshop. Let's keep it simple.
Same here.
The sort of like the idea is going to be the same for no matter what software. Okay. Yeah. So if you're starting off on your PC with Photoshop, you have like a couple hundred fucking tools and ways of doing things. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like anything, how would you sort of draw a house? You would start with a square.
Yep.
Right? And like when you draw humanoids, it's sort of circles that, you know, like shapes, like squares and circles. That's pretty much. And there's no difference in Photoshop. Like just slim it down. Take it down to the necessities. You know where the brush is. You know where the eraser is. You know, Control Z. And
then you just start,
and then you start expanding. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is that you need to be aware of the layers, and that could be something that you have to get used to.
Yeah, that you could Google though, like, or just press anything. It could happen.
Yeah,
like don't expect this to be saved somewhere. Okay, just save it for your personal reference. If you fuck up the layers, if you Control Z something out,
I've done so many
mistakes, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it mistakes either, but. You know, you just have the urge you want to create so badly, and you jump in and you start drawing and then all of a sudden you're like, "Fuck, this was the background."
Yeah. This is the.
There's no going back, and I can't move this now because then I'm gonna fuck.
We'll have to redraw everything.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you can still work around it.
No, you can work around it definitely.
But yeah, I've done that way too many times. And
as long as the canvas is white, you can always just multiply that and sort of do some.
I mean, that's the thing. Like if you've done it a couple of times, you know how to do it. But
it is super annoying. Like I've done that so many times, and then like, oh shit. Well, but it's fine. The first thing you always do in Photoshop is just create an extra layer, pretty much.
the best teacher is the mistakes.
Failure.
Yes.
Yeah, I think failing is the best teacher always.
Thank
like
you, Yoda.
learn so much. Yeah.
Still teaching us.
No, but I think don't expect it to be good. Make it as simple for yourself as possible. Like really, just fucking trace something if you have to.
Oh yeah.
I don't want you to focus on what to draw. Because, if you have that problem as well, it's not going to be a fun experience. So just draw, Yoda, or draw something you've drawn before. Draw a face, draw an ugly face.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the drawing itself here. It's about learning the tools. Once you have the tools, you can draw whatever the fuck you want and struggle with other problems. Like, fuck, I drew the eye too far down. Like shit like that.
Yeah. How do you solve that?
Yeah. Then there's the marquee tool and their lasso tool, whatever.
And liquefy and
whatever other ways you want to solve it on.
Billion and fucking trillion ways to do this. And it's all right. There's no wrong.
There's no right or wrong. The best way of working digitally, though, later on, is that working smart. Yeah, because if you draw things on different layers, you can always I want to change the hair color. Then you just go to that layer, you change the hair color with sliders, or something else, depending on how you painted it.
Yeah.
So with sliders, you have like the RGB sliders or the HSB sliders or whatever the fuck you have.
And already now we're like light years beyond what I do. Because I don't paint like this. Like, I am a traditionalist, and everybody knows this. And this is, that's why I by default, don't always go and sketch on my companion or on my stationary computer or whatever. Like, pen and paper is always number one for me. So the way I paint when I do use the computer is the exact same way. Normally on just the one layer. Because that's how I work more comfortably. And then, I do use like the lasso tool or the liquefy or whatever. And it really helps me with so many things. And it just makes everything so much easier. Because if I am reproducing a face and I'm trying to get it as similar as I can, I can just open up the picture and have it right next to the canvas that I'm drawing on the same fucking page.
Yeah.
And then I just go into sort of the liquefy tool and I try to match it. And, there you go. It's super.
But then you're drawing something specific.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's going to ask you to change it, more or less. No. Yeah. So when I do client work, I usually draw separate layers on most things, just because then, if they don't like the cleavage, I can cover it up. If they don't like this thing, if they want, I don't know, the hair color, they don't like the eye color. Some things I know that they want to change. Like if they want to add headphones, not a problem.
Yeah.
But if they want me to remove the ears, no, even that is simple. But some things, bigger nose or wrong color of the face, or could you make the skin another color? We want to go for it.
Something
darker
that you
or lighter.
have to change on your existing piece.
Exactly. Or can the overalls be green instead of violet? Yes. So it's nice because it's so tedious to repaint. If you have the creases and everything in different colors, and someone asks you okay, well the hands are on the same layer, the skin color and the overalls and the shadows, everything is on the same fucking layer. Then when you try to sort of cheat change it, you're going to change all of it.
Yeah.
So that's why separate layers are gold.
Yeah.
So if you have to change skin color, or you want the character in more colors than one to sort of show this yellow skin character, and I'm talking actually yellow and not Chinese. There's no reference here. I'm just saying a different alien race or something. They're blue, they're green, whatever the fuck you want. It's easy to make those changes on a sort of finger snap, just super quick.
Yeah.
So working smart. But like I said, break it down to what you can. It's about learning the software. This is the bucket, this is the thing, this is the pencil, this is the vector, the pen tool.
Yeah.
That you don't even have to learn at all.
No, I've never used it.
Yeah. But
not in Photoshop.
I did. First vector gig I ever did.
Nice one.
For a poker place. I don't remember what it was called.
Let's just call it Poker Place.
Poker Place.
The pee-pee.
I drew it first. on a piece of paper.
Oh, there you go.
But I never, like, when I draw for clients, I just do them digitally and then I send them in because it's faster, you know, like I draw them, save them, send them. Like, it's almost immediate. Like, nowadays you can even send them through the fucking software, like Procreate, you know, like send to client. So that's on an iPad. But it's there are so many simple ways of sort of doing it, and don't expect it to be good.
No.
I think just learn the software. Once you know where the shit is, then you can start thinking like, okay, what pencils or like brushes am I comfortable with? Because you're going to find like a million brushes.
Oh, yeah.
All of which you won't need.
Exactly.
Because people are like, oh, what brushes do you use? I'm like, you mean the brush that I use?
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's one. There's one that I always like.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, I always fall back to that one.
Exactly, same here. You find the one that you're just super comfortable with. I use that one and then maybe the normal round.
Yeah, a lot round, like hard,
hard
round. Yeah,
That's,
brush. That's pretty much it.
standard.
It works. It can create a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think the biggest sort of like difference when I started with digital stuff was that my digital stuff and my personal or like the sketchbook stuff,
The traditional.
the traditional stuff, was different.
Yeah.
Like leagues apart. Like for a while, it was like the traditional was better, you know, because the digital was it was so bad. Like I used so many weird effects. Not knowing anything about the software, I wasn't painting. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll add like some color dodge and some color burn, and you know, just like those effects. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, everyone's gonna laugh. Anyone that knows what you're doing, they were like, wow, rookie. No one's gonna laugh. I don't think anyone, like, I think we've all been there. But
you get the pat on the back.
But when you yourself see it later, you're like, oh,
wow.
this is what the fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna show you, but I threw that CD-ROM away because I don't have a CD-ROM reader anywhere in my house. But I did a Devil May Cry in a leather, like red leather jacket back in the day when the first one was released, and I fucking color burned that motherfucking leather jacket, and then did like color dodge for the highlights, and it was all so good, and it just looked like latex, all of it, like super latex.
Nice.
And not in the good way. Like, you know how latex can be sort of satisfying to paint? This was not it.
But it was
This
Devil May
just
Cry.
yeah, but this was just like airbrush galore, and you know, like all of it was just out of this, like so digital and plastic and fake and disgusting.
I think
like,
that's what it would look like if I did it now. Yeah.
So yeah, that was not good. So don't use effects. Don't worry about that shit yet.
No, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I think you can use the multiply tool at some point, maybe, but that's like stick to that for a while. If you even need
I was
it.
just gonna say.
No, but if you do like line art and you sort of want to see through your line art or something, like I don't know. But don't worry about effects. Don't worry about brushes. Use one that you're comfortable with. And I would say in the beginning, use the airbrush to just soften up edges if you don't want them in that certain area.
Yeah.
And then use a hard round for everything else. And then use the airbrush to sort of like even out some things.
Yeah.
They just blend the hard edges.
blend.
The hard edges that you don't want. Like some hard edges you just like, that felt in the right place.
Oh, yeah.
And you just want to leave that because, it's so satisfying. But yeah, just try to sort of like learn the tools first. Like learn where the fuck all the things are. Start there, super simple.
Yeah. And I think a good way to do, like, if you want to learn stuff and not really look at tutorials per se, is
But you should.
Find an artist that you really like, and hopefully that person will have like a what do you call it, like a speed paint or not a speed
that really helps. A speed paint, like
or just you know, when they're painting and talking through the whole process, so you can see what they're doing and how they're doing it, because that helped me loads.
I think
watching Feng Shui.
Yeah, Feng Shui is real, but depends on what you want to draw as well.
Yeah.
Feng Shui only works if you want to do concepts.
Yeah, but that I was really into concepts back then. But I mean, he still gave me a lot of good tools and more understanding for tips, the program, and that I still sort of use now. I've forgotten loads because I mean, obviously I went to school and learned this shit, but it's just not necessary for me to learn or have it in my head anymore.
Yeah.
So I've removed it, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really need it anymore. But it's a good tip, and if nothing else, you'll get inspired to do stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, if you have the time, it's really just satisfying watching somebody draw and create.
Try to do it at the same time, though. Don't
Yeah.
just watch
Yeah, yeah,
videos. It's not transferable by vision.
No,
You have to learn
sit there and
by
sketch.
trying. Yeah.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you have an iPad,
Try it.
put your computer on and watch shit, or like screencast from your phone to your TV if you have a
Yeah.
Chromecast or something.
Or if you have a PS4, you just
Exactly,
Put it
YouTube
on
that shit.
YouTube
Yeah,
it.
there are even like Pinterest, like step-by-step images where they're sort of like, this is the base, then I do this, then I hollow out the eyes. Like more painterly sort of approaches, more
Yep.
digital like line
and those
art.
can be
approach.
almost more helpful sometimes because
I
it's
think it
easier
really
to
does help.
Yeah, easy to see those step by step.
See how they solve certain problems, or how they avoid sort of like getting stuck on like bullshit, like we used to like a lot. Like, oh, I'm just gonna focus on this eyelash for an hour, like. What?
Exactly.
But you know what I mean, like a erase. No, I'll just do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because now you've opened up this new thing, and you can zoom into like the smallest little detail, and you're like,
Good that you brought that up.
I can do every little pore in this face now, and it's just so not necessary. Like
you can if you're going for hyper realism, but not in the beginning,
but yeah,
because you might need to do corrections and shit, and you don't want to like, oh, I do like the pores are really good, and I have to paint
Exactly.
over them because I'm an idiot. Like unless
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, again, be smart.
Be smart, yeah. And don't like. It's really good that you brought it up because I was thinking about it when I sent you the text about the topic,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, I should write down about the zooming because
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget. You brought it up, yeah. When you draw digitally, try to keep it like either have the navigator, which is like a small window with your image in it that you can sort of like, if you're working on a big sort of image and zoomed in, you can move around with that navigator
so
thing.
you always have it like to your wherever you have it.
To the right
So you
side
can
or
see it,
wherever you put it.
like really zoomed out, and that way, I mean, it's really smart because that way you can really see
like the overall, like
Exactly.
how are people going to see it on Instagram?
Exactly.
Just to have a comparison.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Just to have a
because
comparison. Yeah.
That's the thing, because I think we both started this way,
and
we
you
just
can
went
like
in.
scale that thing. You know, like you can have
Oh,
like
yeah, you
really
can-
small, just to sort of get the gist. Like, is this image interesting? The small.
Yeah.
If it is, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
But if it's not, if it's unreadable, people are not going to be inclined to look at it.
No,
So you have to sort of do that way off.
because that way you can see the overall big shape of what you're doing. If it just looks like a big blob of shit, then you probably have way
big-
too many fucking details in it.
Yeah, or just like the same values everywhere. So it's
Yeah.
like all telling, like it's
Nothing.
cluttering up whatever you're trying to sort of show.
Yeah. But yeah, then is it called the navigator?
Yeah, it's Navigator. It's under the Windows tab. Yeah, Window tab. Yeah, not
Window.
Windows. But it's on a Windows or a Mac.
But yeah, that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
I rarely use it because
I just have it on just
know,
for that.
I know how to look at it, and I normally zoom out anyways, like I do
Yeah.
it manually, because that way I don't have it all the way, like always there. What are you doing? Did you get wet?
I'm just pouring this drink over me. Zlatan water.
Oh, Zlatan. You
I am a
Zlatan.
slut.
Yeah, dude, your boob is almost falling out.
That's what happens when you wear your workout clothes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but another tip, if you are a Zoom whore, like I am, because I am a total Zoom whore.
Save the zoom. Save the
Zoom, yeah. If you have a problem and you just like, I can't avoid zooming, create a really small canvas when starting out. Like do a 500 by 500. Like you don't have to do this, it's a terrible size. But I'm just saying like, if you do them
Pixel
really
art.
small, no, but if you do them really small, like the canvases, let's say you're going to have it needs to be ginormous.
Yeah.
But when you're in the sort of like blocking in phase, you don't need a big canvas. So make it big enough so that you can't zoom in to
Yeah.
draw the eyes.
Yeah, when
pretty
you zoom
much.
in,
Yeah,
it's
right?
going to be pixelated.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It's not
perfect.
going to be
That's-
so unusable, and
Yeah.
it's
That's really good.
because when you're at that pixel sort of like zoom,
You don't
you
know.
really need the pencil tool.
Exactly.
To just block, because it's pixel art. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And you can't, if you're painting in that sort of like, you can have 100% pressure and everything, and you just have to like keep sort of just to get shit where you want it.
Yeah.
And it's super tedious. So that's a really good way to stay zoomed out, because once you zoom in, it's garbage.
Good smart tip.
Yeah. So that is a great way. And you take that, you scale it up 5,000%, you know, like whatever, and you put it in the actual size that you need.
What size do you normally paint? Like if you go in
I think most of the things I do privately, I just do like A3.
A3?
Yeah, I think that's like 3,000 something by.
Yeah. I don't
know.
I normally go A4.
Dude, I haven't done anything specific. Like, I haven't drawn anything professional that needed to be. Like, I've done vector and some other shit, like blah.
Yeah.
Like, draw live. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, when I do the more my postery stuff, I normally go A3 with those two, because I know it's not going to be printed much bigger than that anyways.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And it's only going to be digital medium. Like they're only going to look at it on screen, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, my work is mostly made to be digital.
Yeah.
And it's like A3 is plenty big.
Oh yeah,
For digital.
because
Like,
then you can really zoom in like on that shit.
but I try to keep them above 3,000. You know, like depending on how they're scaled. But I'm trying to, like, I don't know. The internet has sort of fucked that up now with all the different screen sizes and square, like, Instagram bullshit. And, you know, all these different... Now, I know, like, Instagram has stopped doing just squares, but still, it just ruins your sort of gallery when you don't have square shit.
I just saw that yesterday, actually, that you can do multiple images with
in
that.
different scales, yeah. That's been, like, on there for a while now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was only...
No,
only
the
squares.
one or the other, yeah. Okay, I'll keep you updated when big changes come
Yes,
along.
please do, because I don't stay updated.
No, but Instagram is really like, I'm waiting for the retweet, the Instagram retweet.
Oh, is that a thing
being
now?
planned? Yeah, I think it's even being tried out by like big accounts. I haven't seen it,
Holy fuck!
but I heard something somewhere. I don't remember where though. But yeah, something about like a retweet, so a remix like on the feed days.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, I love it. Because this is a way to sort of like, if you want to share someone's content, you get their profile immediately.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to like repost this image to jerk me off, you know, like, and then tag me and hashtag me and smash tag me.
It's
and
just like serving everything for you.
Yeah, it's already there, and it's such a great feature. So yeah, let's see why not.
Yeah, because that was the feed sort of
That was the best thing
crown
about feed.
jewel of.
But we were good on feed, man.
we were really good. We were super social.
Yeah, but it was like
and
more of a
everybody-
family,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
That was the thing. Like
Because that
the feed
guy,
family.
the main guy,
What's his name?
oh shit, I don't
Parker?
remember. No, not that one. The other one. There were two of them. Like, first one, the one that's like this big sort of.
Phil.
No, but I'm thinking of the guy that owned Feed.
Yeah.
He's like a super entrepreneur dude
Yeah.
that's done like millions of things and just earned money and then moved on. And
Yeah.
he retweeted he retweeted a couple of my things, and in just like, remember, like within a week I went from like 1,000 followers to like 20,000 something.
Yeah. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it! I told you about
but you
this.
didn't you get the feed
Yeah,
official
yeah,
thing
yeah.
before me though? Because I had that, and I think you got it before me.
No, you got it before me.
'Cause
I think that one, because that's where I was like, well, fuck, because I was first.
I don't remember,
Like,
but yeah,
it felt unfair in a way. But I mean,
yeah.
what's fair and not
Dude,
fair?
who cares? Yeah, it's social media. But it was back when social media was a fun thing.
I did get it.
Yeah,
so
you did get it. I got it.
was-
But you got the cap. I didn't get a cap.
I got 2 caps.
Fuck, where's my cap, bitch?
Exactly.
No, but I have flatbacks. I look weird in those. There were snapbacks, but the flat sort of like screen.
One was flat and the other one was not.
Baseball cap.
Yeah.
That's the ones I like. Send me baseball caps, people.
But yeah, no, that was really cool. It was feed.com, PH
Yeah.
feed.
It
And
was so good,
it was
yeah.
pretty much Instagram
But better.
with Twitter.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
The
Like,
combination of the two.
and you could post videos,
Yeah.
which you couldn't do on Instagram back then.
Videos, audio tracks.
Audio, yeah, shit. You could do all of it.
Pretty much Tumblr.
Yeah, fuck, you could actually put just audio,
Yep.
with like a text.
Yeah. Because some people that I followed were
Yeah, we're
singers.
just singers, yeah, I remember.
It was
But
great.
it was so appreciative. Remember, like
and
we
so
had, like,
easy to use, and
dude, and it was so easy to like, oh, I love this person's song or their art or their, like this
Yeah.
image really connects with me. You just remixed it.
yeah, and
So good.
and so easy to just connect with people.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a beautiful time
Yeah.
in social media for us. at
For
least.
us, yeah, that was
Yeah,
good time.
man. That was actually my transition from here to moving down to Lego as well. That was that whole period. So a lot of stuff happening, and yeah, it was cool. It was a good way to stay in contact with the rest of the world when I moved into my little.
But I think we got
Isolation
invites because
box.
you found feed.
Yeah, I found it because I liked looking at half-naked women, and one of them wrote like, the feed has no censor," and I was like,
They added it later
"Yeah, they did. They did."
because I remember, when
Because
you,
that became that was the start of the whole downfall of feed, actually, when they
censored,
yeah, because
which was kind of good because some of the images you were like, no,
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
this is not what I
Definitely.
want.
but
But I don't think that was it. I actually think it was when they sold it. Like when they sold feed,
it sort
'cause
of went hand in hand, like
No, the censor came earlier.
It
Like
did?
it came way earlier
but
than the cell.
Well, I started noticing a decline with that sensor. But yeah, no, it was just I think one of the Suicide Girls, and I checked it out, and there was a lot of artists on it, and I just like fell in love with it straight away. And I think maybe the day after or 2 days after, maybe
yeah,
I
yeah.
told you about it.
Yeah, we were
Because
sitting
we went
at
to the
Espresso
yeah,
House.
exactly.
Yeah,
We were doing
yeah.
one of our coffee shop
Oh,
drawing,
it was back then. Shit,
Yes.
that was ages ago. Yeah.
and told you, and I think Prakash as well.
Yeah, Prakash as well joined. Like it was, I think that was the most familiar social media. Like I can like truly say that it was awesome. We even had that guy Matthias. Remember him? Mm-hmm. He went to L.A. or California and met up with that girl that we talked to as well. Like she followed both of us. The one, she looked like a hippie, had those like round glasses all the time, had like super unclear pictures of herself. Super hippie. He met her and her mom or something like that. Like Matthias, what the fuck was his name?
I don't know.
Oh man, he invited us. Like he was talking to us all the time. Prakash even met him in the city.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember his name.
I met him too.
You met him too, yeah? Because Prakash just met him like out at like
Yeah.
Roland Parken or something, and they had beers.
Yeah. It was. I was sitting at a bar, and I talked to him, but it was after. It was actually I talked to him on Twitter.
Okay.
Fuck, I don't remember his name.
Don't remember his last
Yeah.
name either.
But yeah, no, he was a nice
Because
guy.
I
nice
drew
enough
his
guy.
like I did like a drawing of his profile image. I just
Yeah.
boosted it with like some room light.
Yeah.
And he loved it. Like I just added like dust, a room light on his cap, and just like phased out his face a bit, just made it a bit darker, and he loved that image, and it got super many likes
Yeah.
for no reason.
But he was way into the feed.
Yeah, he was like
he was everywhere and fucking
on everyone, commenting on
Yeah.
everyone. He's
As
just like,
soon as you posted something, he
was
fucking
there, like
reposted
first
it
person,
straight
yeah,
away.
yeah.
Always, and that was like, I don't know, it was a respect in a way, you know. You
Yeah.
just
Well,
or
that
love.
that community
way.
was beautiful.
Yeah,
And then it died.
really derailing out of this
Yeah.
one, but social
So
media.
digital art now.
Yeah, but okay. So
Yeah.
what have we covered?
Yeah, we
have
did cover the feeling.
we've been improving this whole fucking thing.
Yeah. So feeling, fuck that. Start small. Like,
Yeah.
don't, like, I know it's a big complicated machine, Photoshop, and
Yeah.
it's like kaka på kaka, like we say in Swedish.
Oh yes, cookie on the cookie.
Cookie on the cookie, and which is like a big clutter, pretty much.
It sounds
it's
like
just-
a great thing, but it's apparently
it's
not.
Not, yeah. Liars. Cake bomb, bitch. And yeah, it can be intimidating. So I think what we covered actually, it was the feeling. the ambition level.
Yeah.
Like, just learn the software first.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck. Like, you could draw squares for all you
Exactly.
care. Like,
If you've only drawn like funny characters or portraits,
Just stick to
don't
that.
jump in and start doing landscapes.
yeah, that's not where you should. Just start with the thing that you can
Yeah.
draw blind.
Familiarity,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Just stay safe.
Stay safe and just try to learn, and then sort of like once
Start
you've learned,
expanding.
slowly expand your sort of like your
Yeah.
tools, because
Yeah.
it's going to come natural. Like
Yeah,
you're
it
going to
is.
find like, okay, how do I do this thing? And then watch videos, tutorials, visual tutorials, just like step by steps, and videos.
Yeah.
Like they're super helpful. Just seeing how someone else sort of solves all that they're using the marquee tool to sort of like fill this area in. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
That really helped me, because I just like, I even got the stencil. I didn't even draw anything. I was like, I'm gonna paint. That's what I'm gonna do. And I did exactly what the video said. He was like, download this PNG, put it on your computer, do this.
And yeah,
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's great.
Because it was so intimidating, sort of like just jumping in to this whole new monster.
Yeah. And
So-
that's sort of how I started, because I drew line work by hand first, and then I scanned it, and then started coloring it in Photoshop. And that was just the sort of natural progression for me, the way to go. And that way I sort of stayed safe, because I was
Yeah.
still drawing traditionally, but then just adding the Photoshop thing. And I mean, it still looked really plastic, and
Yeah,
I'm not happy with anything that I did back then, pretty much.
Yeah.
But also then, I mean, it was all about experimenting. And I did I downloaded a background from Google, and then I drew my characters, added them on to like boost the background, or
Yeah.
the other way around, actually. And it was just like, I just felt like, wow, I made this awesome thing.
Yeah.
When actually I was stealing other people's images.
But yeah, you didn't know better.
I didn't. Now I
And
do.
then you do.
Yeah.
Now you do. Yeah,
Now
I
I
think
know
that's the
how to-
important thing. Like, learn through mistakes. It's fine.
Yes.
And don't worry about like making mistakes. Make a lot of mistakes now to
Yeah.
save yourself the trouble later.
Yes, actually, I didn't do that because I was gonna do a children's book for something. I don't remember what it was. But I took my own pictures of scenery
That's good.
and then did the same thing. Just
That's
because
fine.
that was
Yeah.
that was the only way I knew how to do, because I couldn't do fucking backgrounds. So it was a test. They didn't buy it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I moved on. But it was really fun, because then I got to plan the
Yep.
images ahead of time, and then find sort of locations where it would fit, and then take those pictures. And
Yeah, but that is a good way of doing
yeah,
things. Like,
it was a fun experiment that ended way too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully.
another thing I think that is good to do when painting or learning to paint is like, once you sort of gotten past the actual learning of like, you'll never stop learning, but once you're past sort of like, where's the paintbrush and how do I move this eye to match the other one?
First grade.
No, first, yeah. Well, once you pass that, like maybe you can start sort of like getting comfortable in sketching, and sure that all goes without saying. You have to learn to like become comfortable. But then maybe one of the steps or later on might be like, you might, like me, have a big difference in your traditional and sort of digital. And I wanted to sort of close that gap a little. So maybe it's time to learn about how to sort of like either paint with a texture like in your brush, so you sort of get that sort of, you know, like some sort of painterly whatever style you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just like add a texture at the end, sort of on top of it, and like just don't just put it there and then just add an effect and you're good. But there are ways of doing it that you could read up on online.
Yeah.
There are some super complicated ones, and there are some simpler ones. But there are ways of making sort of like, this was drawn with, you know, like there's a texture of paper that doesn't look cheesy.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a fucking casino green cover, you know, like that felt sort of like that, I don't know, fabric that is on casino tables.
yeah.
Like, because some people just paste shit like that in, and you're like, "Ugh." Like,
Yeah.
it's terrible. Like, but
And
there are some
we've
ways.
all done that.
We've all done that. That's fine. Like,
That's
when
how you learn.
Yes, I think I've had like something super cheesy. I don't remember what it was. But it was something like that as well, like, ugh, on some old pieces.
Oh yeah, I've done many.
Yeah, so no. I think the Mega Man won it. Mega Man won.
Mega banana.
No, but the Mega Man sketch that I did for Udon was that, like, the background of it, I had, like, some free, I think it was, like, reference, not a reference, it was, like, what do you call them? Stock photography.
Stock
like,
photo?
some free stock photos of, it was sort of like a plåttak, sort of like really
one of
shiny,
corrugated.
yeah, exactly. Iron
stuff.
grates or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know.
The
like
wavy roof.
yeah, wavy roof
metal.
things. Yeah, metal like
thing.
but it was like super like glossy. And the walls in my image, I just like perspectived them, added them there, and then just painted, like used the selection that I had and painted them, I think. I don't remember what effect I used or something. Just to match, like they went like there. It's just a 1 point perspective in that image.
Yeah.
And it's just like follows it, and those I just like use the perspective tool to sort of match the rest of the perspective, and just worked it out from there. And they look great. They look like some type of walls, and then that big robot is coming up behind Mega Man with the lights
red eyes.
showing with the red eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that image.
And
I
it's
loved
super
it.
simple. I still have the original sketch in one of my sketchbooks that I gave to my daughter, and she started painting it. So I don't have that original sketch anymore.
Oh, there you go.
But like I've said, I don't care about sketches.
No.
But it is sort of like the rest of it is garbage. Like the front part of it, I did some terrible choices. But it's all Udon chose it for their Mega Man 25 years of Mega Man tribute.
It's fucking
It's
awesome.
fucking okay. Like I think it
It's
did
fucking
okay.
okay.
Because they sent them. I was like, oh, when is this? Like, because they had this sort of like people asking a lot of questions, and then they said like, oh, well, we're just gonna send them to Capcom, and Capcom, the Japanese Capcom, will sort of select the winners and then send them like back and say which ones got in the book. And I was like, yeah, because I'm a big Street Fighter fan.
Hell
and for those
yeah.
of you that don't know, Capcom made Street Fighter.
Yes.
So yeah,
So
that was cool for me. All for free.
that's pretty cool. Like between the two of us, we've worked with everything we love almost. Pretty much.
Yep.
That's
They're
awesome.
still- yeah,
That's
it's
fucking
super
awesome.
cool. Yep.
We're cool, man. Little ego boost.
But unfortunately, none of these gigs have led to
No.
any more
No.
at all. Like
No,
every
no.
time, like I think Microsoft might have opened a couple of doors, but Apple, Udon, like
Yeah.
all these things,
Yeah.
like Capcom,
Marvel.
they haven't really led anywhere.
No.
Like it's those like obscure things with these companies that we've sort of ended up doing. So, but I still appreciate them. Like they're super fun.
Nice.
But more stuff on digital art is just stick with it.
Yeah.
Because I think that is
Well,
like
yeah,
it's the hardest
that's-
part, right?
And that's the secret with anything.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, duh.
Yeah. No, I know
But-
it's duh, but it's that boring secret that nobody wants to sort of hear about. It's
But that's the thing. Like, and I don't know if we've really talked about this much, but we have touched upon it a couple of times, and we've talked about it in like an off podcast. But this new age of instant fame,
the instant gratification thing. Scroll.
not working for your
Yeah.
fame or not
Insta
working
fame.
for anything. Now you go to Idol, you sing, and then you're super famous straight away. Like there's nothing in between anymore. And I mean, for us, we come from working families that worked their entire lives. They didn't even think about trying to become a famous artist or singer or
Yeah.
whatever, even if they were super talented, because that wasn't in their head. They were like,
Yeah.
no, we have to work to make money to support a family that
family.
we're gonna eventually get. And they just
Did
stuck
that,
with
yeah,
it
yeah.
forever.
And your
My-
dad was a renegade.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
Like he was a fucking renegade
Holy
in
shit,
his
yeah.
youth.
Oh yeah, big time. And I mean, he was
Barefoot, tap a knee.
barefoot. He like hair twice as long as me, twice as long as you when you had long hair, pretty much. And
Such a fucking shinobi.
and super, like he was really talented as an artist.
Oh,
and,
shit, yeah.
and all of this. And you know, he turned I think when he was 13, he was accepted into Konstfack in Stockholm, which is a really, really big school,
Yeah,
which is
fancy.
impossible to get into today if you don't know the right people. He was accepted into the school as a 13-year-old, which is fucking crazy. And he was like, no. And he just started working.
He was like a rebel.
Yeah, because he's like, no, I'm going to make money. And he was super happy because when he was 15, he got a job that paid him more than his dad got.
Yeah.
And and then he got beat up by his dad because he was making more money, obviously. Because you can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Well, you don't tell your dad. That
No. But yeah, no, so he was talented as a musician as well. And like, he just like, no.
Yeah. There was different times, different priorities, I guess. Because my mom, like, I wish I kept drawing because she enjoyed it as a kid. And, like, for her age, she was good at it. But then, life.
Yeah.
Because my mom, like, at an early age, they went to school. And then during, like, the whole summer period, which is way longer in Greece, they went out, like, in the early, like, dawn and started, like, collecting tobacco and shit, Mm-hmm. So they were, like, working and going to school and doing all that jazz. So, like, from an early age, you sort of get into that working mentality, which I guess is not that good.
No. But, I mean, how old were you when you started, like, your first job where you got money? It doesn't have to be a normal
I don't remember.
Actual job.
I dropped out of school.
I was 13.
I didn't have it. Yeah, I think I was 13 as well because I dropped out. No, shit.
Because I was...
No, I didn't work as a 13. I did, like, some odd jobs, but... Nothing actual. Like, I didn't get hired until I was 14 or 15. Because I dropped out of school.
Because I remember my first job was with... fuck was his name? He was one of the teachers in Nibble. Helped him sort of clean out his old... like, he had a farmhouse somewhere in Jakan. That he had sort of inherited, and it was just filled with shit, and he needed help to clean it out, and he was like offering them, I don't know, it was chicken feed.
Oh yeah, working under the table, like black money, like dirty money. I worked earlier, like I think I was like 12, 13, just like tagging along one of my dad's like what do you call them, like acquaintances that he sort of worked with in the past. He was like, oh, well, this guy has like a cleaning firm. Follow them around and just do some odd shit. Yeah.
And that was, I mean, that was normal. It was expected of us to start working. And I mean, it's always been that way,
How did we end up here though?
I don't know.
The instant famous thing.
Exactly.
Working hard.
So pretty much what the segue was. It's just if you're a little bit younger and you're really frustrated about not being able to draw a 100% perfect portrait or getting hired as a concept artist as a 13-year-old, like, dude, just suck it up, practice, work hard. It will pay off.
Yeah.
If you want it like enough, hard enough, you will get there.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing stopping you except yourself.
Yeah. And and there's a worldwide market, but you need to acquire the skill. And the skill does not come from watching. Like,
I mean,
even if you watch like 100 tutorials, you will not be able to do the things they do, even if it feels great watching them. And you're like, holy shit, that's how they do it. Oh, this is going to be great. You're going to forget it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to just have it. It's not like an acquired skill by watching. It's you have to draw.
You practice and you practice and you practice some more. And then maybe you're going to remember it. And then you keep doing it. Eventually it's going to just stick in your wrist and you're going to be able to do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah, it's that like mind-hand connection.
Exactly.
That does not happen. It's like some people are really good like with like playing football, like keeping the ball. And then some people are like fucking antelopes, like newly born.
Yeah.
Just fucking stumbling around like a moron.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Me.
Yeah.
That's sort of me.
But that's what I mean. Like
I can't fucking do sports.
But then you have gymnastics, which you fucking excel at. Like without doing, you did pretty good.
Well, yeah, you just sort of, some stuff you just understand.
Like it works, like it just clicks immediately.
But I mean, that's not saying we didn't work for it, because I mean, we were ninjas as, like when we were 3 years old, we were just fucking out climbing trees, doing flips.
And still we suck.
Yeah. Of course we did. Like, but we were just having fun. But
Yeah.
we were teaching ourselves how our body was working
Yeah,
and how balance works and all of this.
Yeah, because we were trying to emulate.
Of course,
yeah.
we wanted to be Ninja Turtles. So that was easy to just sort of, when you start doing proper acrobatics
Yeah.
or parkour, whatever you want to call it, free running, you sort of have that in the back of your head somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was easy to tap into for me. Like, I picked it up pretty easily. And yeah, I mean, that's how it works. And it's the same like now, if I want to learn how to draw this, then it's probably going to take me a lot shorter of a time than somebody that has never drawn before,
Yeah.
because I know how a pen works, and that way I know sort of how a pencil works or a brush.
Or like the next thing. Yeah.
You know, it's easy to adapt to the next thing. It's not going to be super easy. Like, I'm not
With
trying to be
everything,
cocky.
yeah. No.
It's still going to take time, but it might take less time
Less
than for
time,
somebody
yeah.
that hasn't done it. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, all that work pays off, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a douche.
I think so too. I think it's just like, be patient, just do the work. If you keep doing something all the time, like, I'm not saying that you have to spend like 6 hours at a time.
No.
It can just be like, do a study that takes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like go from start to finish, you have 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
If that's all you need, like, go for it.
Yeah, once you pass the sort of like the initial learn the software, then just like spend all the time you can
Yeah.
just learning.
And it's all about having fun as well. Like,
Yeah.
go fucking nuts, experiment, do fun stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, seriously, this program is amazing. You can do so much fun shit with it.
So much, yeah. 'Cause
And
it's-
yeah, I mean, you can even animate in it. You can do everything. There's pretty much nothing you can't do with this
Yeah.
program. And I mean, I've given up trying to learn everything because it's impossible.
but I
the
just-
program is evolving more than I could ever learn now.
Yeah. But it's just like, I think it's just like, start doing it. Like, for example, draw a squiggle.
Yeah.
Manipulate the squiggle in all the ways that you can.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to draw anything, but something might click in your mind because you're being so sort of like, see it as like, just like you doodle when you talk to someone on the phone. You're not like dissatisfied when you're done.
No.
You know, like, there's no sort of dissatisfaction. You just did
it's just-
shit.
Yeah, and it's
Scribbled.
something tangible. It's something that you have on paper.
Yeah, and you just did
it's-
that.
Yeah, and that's probably going to help you evolve in some way. And I mean, not for nothing, but if you hate it, like if you hate the digital stuff, it's probably going to help you evolve traditionally. Like,
It does.
so you're
Forgot to
still
bring that
learning.
up.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not wasted talent. It's not wasted time, because you are evolving and you're learning to think in a different way and in a different space. And when you put pen on paper again, it's a whole different thing. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like
More
for me,
gratifying? Yeah.
so much more gratifying for me, because
Same here.
I do, like, the passion is with the pen and paper.
Sure.
It always has.
Yeah.
So for me, every time I go back from a longer binge of digital, it's just like the best feeling in the world. Just, getting to feel and smell everything and get dirty, all that shit. That's why I love going over to sculpting and stuff as
Yeah,
well, because
yeah.
it's the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
That's
It's just a different type of medium, but still creative. And man, God, this is...
I actually have something there as well.
Yeah.
Another thing, if you are a traditionalist and you really love sort of like what your sort of like traditional stuff looks like, imagine if you could replicate that with your digital stuff. And people say like, oh, what pencil or like what like sort of medium did you use for this? Is this oil paints or is this la paints? And you're like, it's digital.
Exactly.
Because I get that with some of the Procreate stuff that I do in pencil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I use a photo, like I photograph my sketchbook in good light, like in daylight, just an empty page, and then I just sketch on it. And then you post it.
There we go.
Yeah, and it's always the same background.
Yeah.
But it is like when people are like, "Oh, cool," and you have like I even have like on one of the photos, the templates that I have, is I've even put like a pen there, like
Just because.
yeah, but it's not the right type of pen, but it's still like I put a pen there to give the illusion of that I drew it, and then I never sort of like draw above the pen, like I always like erase that part that touches the pen or something. So it's just like it's fun. It's fun that you can like recreate whatever you could draw digitally. You can do it traditionally, and just like playing with those things.
Exactly.
And
just
that is also gratifying.
Yeah.
It's so gratifying. You're like, yes, fucking tricked all of them.
Exactly.
And
But just that thing,
Yeah.
drawing on top of a picture,
yeah.
There's so much stuff you can do with this. It's limitless.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was going to get to with this point, like before we sort of leave digital, is that it doesn't have to be the one or the other.
No.
The satisfying thing with traditional is that I can do digital.
Yeah.
And then when I get tired of the one, I can go to the other. So it's not that I have to stop doing anything. I can just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then I have vector, and vector allows me to do something entirely different from.
Man.
But I still like I can create stuff in vector that looks like my Photoshop stuff, and like vice versa. But there's a whole other dimension to sort of like going with vectors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we didn't cover that
No,
in this one
and
going
I think
digital.
it's not
but
necessary at this point.
No,
I think,
but it is the same approach.
Yeah, it is.
Although vector software is, I guess, a little different. Like
Yeah.
you can paint, but you can't paint with sort of like overlay and
No,
like layers.
it's very
Or you-
tedious.
Okay, let me just say you can. The reason you can, but it's not the same.
It's not. No, definitely not. But I mean, it all depends. I mean, if you're really into doing sort of logo designs or stuff like that, or
you work with shapes,
fonts,
yeah.
or you like working with that sort of thing,
Yeah.
it's perfect. Then
Yeah.
you should definitely go for the Illustrator stuff.
Depends. Like game industry also has like if you're working with mobile industry,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
vector is a preferred method of working
It is.
because
It
the
is.
the assets are very scalable. You can make them super tiny, you can make them
Yeah.
super big,
Yeah,
and so on.
but I think we'll save that for a different episode.
Yes. So just keep fucking working at it and don't do extremes. Don't do the one or the other. Just do all of it.
Have fun.
Specialize in whatever the fuck you like, but learn both. I think you can specialize in both fields
Yeah.
without a problem. Because
Definitely.
if you can draw, there's nothing that keeps you from being able to draw on any fucking medium. Like,
No.
and if you are a painter, you're like, then Photoshop should be a piece of cake as well. I think, like, if you're doing that painterly style thing.
Yeah. And then it'd be a great way for you to try out different color combinations if you're doing
Yeah.
a big, massive oil painting or whatever, and you might be a bit afraid to try out different things. Then just fucking take a picture of the thing, paint over it with some colors, try it out. Ta-da! You got your whole thing figured out.
Yeah, don't
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's like I think I can't stress enough.
No.
You don't have to create anything. Just fucking open Photoshop. Take I think the brush tool and the pen tool sort of like are two things, or pencil tool. Like don't use that one. It's super like paint
Yeah.
feel, but use the brush. It's super simple to find. You press B on your keyboard.
Ta-da! You
That's
got
like
it.
another step you can add later,
Yeah.
like shortcuts.
Right click,
But B
and then you
is
have the palette.
exactly. And then just blob things on your page. Just see how everything acts. Play around with the sort of like the set brushes that are there in the beginning. Like find the one that sort of works for you. Play around with that, resize it, do stuff.
I only work with the Photoshop's own brushes. I don't need.
Yeah, the
I don't
hard
need
round
my
one.
own one.
I have my own ones loaded, but it's like hard round, la la la.
Yeah.
It's like the first 3 ones are the ones I use, and I use like out of the first 3 ones, it's a hard round and an airbrush.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I have that one, the airbrush, and then the like a normal sort of. I guess it's more like a graphite on paper.
I have
but-
that as well, but that one is so heavy, sort of.
Yeah,
It's
and-
not enjoyable
and
when
it's
I
all
draw
about-
quick.
I mean, and now we're going into specifics, but
Yeah.
just altering like your opacity and the feel
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of that stuff to make it like the perfect way
Yeah, for you.
for you. Yes.
For me personally, people are like, "Oh, what opacity?" Or they used to. No one asks that anymore. It used to be a thing like, "Oh, what opacity and flow do you have?" Like, oh, I'd never fucking change those
No,
things.
no.
Like if they're 50-50, they're 50-50. If they're 100-100, I'm just gonna use that. I never change.
No, it's just like sometimes I don't want it to be like a hard line. I just
Yeah.
want it to be a bit softer so I can get more of a sketchy feel.
Yeah.
Because I draw really, really loosely when I do sketch on paper.
Same.
So
Oh,
I just,
okay, yeah.
so that's why I pull down the opacity maybe to, I don't know, 70% or something, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of get that, a little bit of an overlap once you go over it. I love that.
Yeah.
See, now I'm getting fueled to go home and draw digitally again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like it's just keep it simple.
Yeah.
We're not gonna dive into more. Like this
could
episode
do-
could be as
yeah,
long.
we could do this
We've
all
already
day.
like done over an hour
All day?
total,
Holy shit.
and we were supposed to keep these short because Robert is going to Thailand in a couple of weeks,
Yeah,
and
motherfuckers.
we're trying to record a couple of extra episodes.
Bada bam.
So I would say keep at it. Don't give up.
Have fun.
If you don't like it, I think it's just because you're not good at it. You don't know the tools. Like you're really good at drawing anywhere else, and then
Yeah.
here you're stupid. Stick with stupid for a while.
Steak with stupid.
Because once you're good at it, like it's like when people go to the gym. When they're not strong and their body's not doing what they want, it sucks.
Yeah.
But once you sort of like, you're able to sort of get past Bambi phase
Mm-hmm.
and actually start like producing or start lifting, it gets gratifying.
Oh,
So
yeah.
stick with stupid for a while.
And it's gonna go
don't-
quick. Like
Yeah.
if you stick with it, you're gonna like explode
Yeah.
into, I wouldn't say professional level, but it's gonna be fast.
Depending on who you are, yeah. Because some people I've seen like, oh, I've started digital. And you're
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like, what?
But like I said with Anna, like she went from just starting to learn it to having a couple of finished pieces
Mm-hmm.
a day, like within a couple of hours, and it was really impressive. Like I was genuinely impressed and
Mm-hmm.
looked really good. And also, I mean, she was just having fun testing different brushes and textures and shit. And great.
Oh, yeah, shit. And a tip, controlpaint.com that we've sort of recommended
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
And if you go to sketchbookheroes.com and go to the links section, I think maybe it's called, there is
There's a website?
There's a link to controlpaint.com if you want it.
Nice.
He has like Matt Core, that's his name, because I have another Matt in my head. But yeah, Matt Core has like great tutorials on digital stuff, and then there's YouTube. So, and also Bug Friends. Anyone that knows Photoshop, fucking slaughter them every time you have a problem with questions. Like bombard them.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
So I think we're gonna sort of round this episode off here.
Yeah, we are.
I thought we were gonna do retro, but we need to record another one.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. So
We'll save the retro.
we're saving the retro for the next episode. Thanks for
Yes.
tuning in.
Thank you, and good luck with the whole digital stuffs. Remember to tag us in stuff you do. If you want help with anything, if you want us to comment, whatever, tag us.
Yes.
And
Also, I've been
also-
terrible at social media, so forgive me for that.
Yes, I'm always terrible with social media, except for my prostitution.
Yeah. He's really good at prostitution.
I am great at prostituting.
Art whore. Out.
Thank you guys. See you next week.
Oh, that was supposed to be Spider-Man.